So we're at Smith Lake RV Cabin and Resort, and you know, we're checking out a lot of different places, and we happen to be with someone, Lewis, who actually has a little bit different plan when he came to the resort and he started looking at what kind of structures he was going to have built on his property. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Brad, well, first of all, I have 2 sons and 3 grandchildren, and so we're a family of 7. And so when I started looking at what type of place we wanted, my number 1 goal was to have a family gathering place.
Right.
So we wanted something that was very pleasing aesthetically. We wanted it to be near the water where we could see the water.
Right.
And we also wanted it to be open. And so when I started putting together a plan, my number 1 goal was to build something that was very open.
Right.
I looked at a lot of what Larry had put together, and he did a great job, and it gave me a good starting point.
Right, and so you actually kind of scribed yours out, didn't you?
I did.
On a sheet of paper.
I got on the computer and used some very simple lines and pictures, and I drew out what I wanted. And my plan is, the footprint is really pretty simple. We have a large living area, we have a bedroom and a bath, and then we stacked on top of the bedroom a loft that's cantilevered over, and that gives us another bedroom and a bath. So we have a 2-bedroom unit, and the living area is 16 by 32, so it's quite large for no larger space than we have.
Right, and so if you look inside here, what you see is the ceilings they really go up a ways, and most of the buildings they don't, like you were talking before. Was there some other things you looked at when you were building?
Yes, of course, the type of materials. I was on a budget, and I did not select the higher end materials. I wanted something that was very cabin oriented, and I wanted it to be sort of fine rustic, a blend of rustic and fine. So we went sort of middle of the road on materials in terms of finish. We chose a cedar wood paneling, and then we used a lot of sheetrock in the upper ceiling area, so that we could get the light, and then I could control cost. And also, as we went along, I could see that I needed some hot spots. And so I talked with Larry, and we made some adjustments while we were constructing in terms of material finishes. Not the structural or not the design, but we made some changes, and I'm sure you'll see some of those later. And we put in a couple of places where it's just a wow factor.
Right, and one of them happens to be those doors right over there. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, that would have been cedar siding, or cedar siding, yes, like you see here. And I just wanted something that was more of a wow factor. And the upper end of what Larry does is aromatic cedar. And I wanted some of that, but I didn't want to spend the money, frankly, to put all of it in cedar. And so he and I talked about running a cedar wall and a cedar stair rail. And that is called a barn door effect. And so we mixed the cedar with the old wood that came out of old buildings. That's what you see. And those are actually constructed by the person who does the cabinets.
I see.
Rather than buy those from the outside.
Wow.
They're tailor-made for that particular space.
Wow, that's just amazing. So a lot of the personal touches you were able to do and kind of control the cost at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah, very much so. I've built a number of just houses, and I'm very much focused on not making a lot of changes during construction, because that causes everybody lots of problems. So I tried to stay with that, but Larry kept saying, you know, if you want something here, as long as we don't have
Right.
to tear something out.
Uh-huh.
And so we, in a timely way, we made sure that we didn't have to tear anything down, but we
Right.
were able to monitor the way things looked as it went along and made some modifications, both in that area that you're just showing there, as well as some things I did in the kitchen.
Right. So what we'll do is we'll try and show people a couple pictures
Sure.
while we've been talking of what you did, and it just shows you the flexibility that they have here, and with building plans and working with the owners to make it what they want. And so that's what you get. Smith Lake RV and Cabin Resort. It's a great place to come, live, stay, and play.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Russ.
Yes, you're welcome.